G'day guys, my name is Trent, aka LaxLime, bringing you an MPL battle this week. It is week 11 and we're up against the Jacksonville Gardevoirs, or EuphAuric. His link will be down in the description below. I am up to week 11, I know I'm probably 3 weeks behind, but I'm catching up, I'm getting there. I've had a lot of trouble with my computer, it's been driving me insane. However, we will get into the battle. It was actually quite a long one, and it was quite a difficult one because he made some really good plays and I got fairly flustered and everything, but it turned out to be a really good battle, so we will get straight into it. So he leads out with his Malouetta as I just go straight out into my Landorus. Now this pretty much puts me in a really easy position just to go straight for a knockoff here, because Malouetta is going to get hurt by that, and whatever comes in pretty much loses its item. So it's brilliant. He ends up bringing in his Malouetta, which basically means his leftovers are going to be knocked off, which is going to help so much because I hate that Pokemon and dealing with it. I just decided to U-turn out of there and go into Venusaur, because Venusaur can pretty much just do a decent job at walling this thing. I know Ice Beam may hurt a little bit initially, but after I Mega Evolve it'll be all good. Like, it's not going to cause any problems. But he does end up just going for the Scald there, which means he probably doesn't have Ice Beam if he didn't use it on the Landorus. I do predict the switch out here, and I just easily just go for the Leech Seed. He's not going to stay in, so Leech Seed was probably my best choice as he goes into Cobalion. You know what, Cobalion actually turned out to be a really big problem in this battle. I didn't expect that it was going to be, but it actually turned out to be a really big and an annoying Pokemon to deal with pretty much the whole time. From here, I was sort of predicting that he was probably going to switch out because he probably didn't want it to be Leech Seed, and he ends up going into his Sigilyph. I make the switch out and go into my Landorus because, you know, I can sort of knock this thing off before, and, you know, just sort of deal with it. It's probably my best thing to really deal with it. But he ends up being, he's going to go for the Psychic Shift or whatever it's called. So Magnezone was my best bet because that's the best thing to sort of end up getting burnt. It is my special attacker, so, and Landorus, you know, can actually do something physically, so I didn't want it to be burnt. So that was my best bet. Well, I thought so anyway. I know he's going to switch out here, so I just decided to go for the Volt Switch. Just Volt Switching out of there and getting up a better setup on whatever, more momentum on this Celebi. This is pretty much the perfect time for me to go into my Cresselia, because basically Cresselia will be able to get the Trick Room up and start, you know, doing some decent amount of damage and, you know, or, you know, setting up for the team. He does make the switch out here as I just go for the Toxic because I really just wanted to get some chip damage off on the Celebi, just sort of put it in range for other Pokemon to actually take it out. And he switches in Cobalion and goes for a Sword Dance. So I was like, yeah, Sword Dance in Cobalion is not going to be fun. I actually went for the Moonlight or whatever it's called, just to sort of see what he was going to do, but that does a significant amount of damage, that Iron Head. That does over half, and yeah, I need Cresselia around because Trick Room is sort of my only way to sort of take out his whole team, and the team is built around the Trick Room, so I need to keep Cresselia alive. I sort of figured that Landorus is probably my best bet to go into, as he ends up going for a sub. Yeah, so he's got Sword Dance, sub, scary. That's what I was thinking anyway. He does go for the Iron Head here, and it does, you know, just under half. I sort of decided here just to be able to sack off Landorus. Landorus isn't really going to do too much more to his team. I don't even have Earthquake on this guy because I put Stone Edge on him just in case he bought Mega Pinsir, because it sort of worked a little bit better. So Landorus is going to go down, and I'm pretty much just have to sack him off, which is disappointing. However, the Life Orb damage is sort of racking up on him and putting him down into yellow, so something that comes in next will definitely be able to, you know, break its sub, because that's sort of my biggest problem. After Landorus goes down, I sort of tossed up for so long about what I wanted to do, and I sort of figured that if I went into Venusaur is sort of okay to go down. Like, looking at all my mons, Venusaur is probably my best bet to let go. And I should be able to survive at least one attack and break his sub. That was the plan anyway, and but he goes for another Sword Dance, so I was like, oh no, don't keep on doing this. This is going to be a really big problem. He won't be able to sweep my team because I'll be able to break his sub on this turn, and the Life Orb damage will eventually stop him anyway. However, it's still kind of a bit of a threat. So it really comes down, like, this Iron Head comes in and I live on 4 HP. I was like, what the hell just happened? And I'm able to Giga Drain him. So Cobalion is down. That was actually a really big threat. You know, this battle took so long, like, with picking moves and everything on both sides, I believe. Like, it ended up being about 50 minutes long, so it was quite intense. He comes out of Venusaur, and there was no way I was going to switch out because I was predicting the Quiver Dance. If I switched out and he got a Quiver Dance up, he pretty much swept my team, so I was better off just going for the Sludge Bomb and sacking off Venusaur, and it worked perfectly for me. Like, one prediction I actually get right, you know, like, it never normally happens. I always make stupid predictions and get them completely wrong. He does go in his Meloetta, and Venusaur's done his job. He's ready to go down. I'm happy for him to go down. I'm able to go into Crest at this point because he shouldn't be able to do too much to me. However, you know, you can sort of muck around with me a little bit. I'm going to set up the Trick Room at this point, and you know what? He does a fantastic job avoiding this Trick Room for so long. He does play really well around it with like withdrawing his mons, as you can see, and going into different things to sort of stop me from really setting up and getting momentum. I do carry Hidden Power Rock on this, and I was just trying to get, it was actually for the Pincel, but it does a decent job against the Sigalith, so you know, that works, but it's not going to do too much damage. Like, it's still going to do pretty pittance because, you know, it's a Cresselia. He does go back into his Sigalith now, and this is sort of where it gets a little bit more of a problem because he actually starts setting up some Cosmic Powers on me, which is, yeah, not really that fun to deal with. And as you can see, the Hidden Power Rock doesn't do much. So he's got one Cosmic Power up, and it sort of gets to the point where it's a little bit scary if he gets too many up. So I gotta really be like careful, I guess. I switched out here because I needed to get him out. Like he's probably gonna stay. Like he can probably survive the Thunderbolt. Really, he probably can. However, I needed to pressure him out and keep him at bay. So I'm able to get the Thunderbolt off. As I said, it's not going to be enough to kill, and he can just sort of roost off that damage. And you know, I'm the one that's going to lose this war eventually because I am burnt. So this, yeah, I sort of know this isn't going to get anywhere, but it was sort of hard to come up. I was sort of just kept on going for it, hoping for the crit, really, because that was the only way I can really take him out. It's like, I think it does like slightly less than half, so that pretty much means I'm gonna not win this war. He does end up going into his Meloetta at this point, as I'm pretty sure I'm choice spec'd anyway, so I'm locked into going for Thunderbolt, and it does nothing, so that pretty much tells me he's Assault Vested. I didn't want to keep Magnezone around for a little bit longer, so I decided to actually take the switch out here and go into Cresselia, because Cresselia can do a fairly decent job of actually walling out this Meloetta. It still does like a significant amount of damage, but like not enough because I can just heal up, and you know, the leftovers help out a lot. He's going to switch out here at this point and go back into his Sigalith. I'm so sick of this thing because it can pretty much just start setting up on me again. I go for the Toxic again. Like, you think I would have learned after the first time, but I didn't. He does go back into the what do you call this thing? I don't know, the onion looking thing. As I actually go into zone at this point, knowing that he probably couldn't really do too much to me, and he's in range for me to actually take him out with a Signal Beam. Or yeah, so he's in range, so pretty much I can go for the Signal Beam and take out that guy. I forget his name. I've just mind blanked. I've totally mind blanked on what his name is. So that's really, really good for me. I'm locked in, obviously, so I need to switch out at this point. Zone can still do a little bit of work under the Trick Room, so I can easily go into Keldeo at this point. This is pretty much the point where I decided, you know what, maybe I can actually do some work now. Like, maybe I can actually put in some work. If I go for a Calm Mind here, I should just be able to take out most things with a Surf or the Secret Sword. So that's exactly what I decided to do, and this is the perfect momentum of what I needed to be able to actually take out the rest of his team. So I was sort of stoked at this point, thinking, oh god, maybe I'll be able to pull this off. After this long, I'll be able to pull this off. So Sigalith goes down. The next one that he's going to go into basically is his, what's it called, the Meloetta. I should be able to take it out with a Sacred Sword. The Thunderbolt's not going to be enough to take me out because it was like, Keldeo's actually got a little bit of ability to survive that. He does get paralyzed, which sort of sucks, but it's okay. Like, it's done so much work already, and I'm happy where it's sitting. He can pretty much just go into Meloetta now. This is his last Pokemon, and I can easily just go for the Secret Swords. He does end up going for the recover here, but sort of futile in the end because I can bring in Magnezone and sort of finish off the battle anyway. So yeah, this is pretty much going to be getting close to the end of the battle. I can't really remember how it finished, if I took him out with a secret sword or did I go into zone. I can't remember. But yeah, no, I took him out with Kalia. So that was the end of the battle. It was a really good one, and it was quite difficult because it went for so long and it was just so hard to sort of decide what moves I wanted to go for. But yeah, it was fun. I ended up taking another win, so that's great. So yeah, you want to go check out Greg, his link will be in the description below, the Jacksonville Gardevoirs. If you would like a chance to battle me as well, you can always hit me up on Twitter or, you know, wherever else, and I should be able to get back to you. But I will catch you guys next time.